what's up, you guys? Thank you for joining the Burton Beat. I am your host, Jeff Evans. We've got Travis right here, also a co-host. Mark down there, our Burton Raccoon. We have our special guest today is John Hammon.
Yeah, John Hammon!
Yay, John! Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, John, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? At what age did you become a stripper?
So, yeah, stripper. Well, you know, that's debatable based on video evidence of the early 90s. But, you know, no, like, so for me, you know, I'm first and foremost, you know, I'm a husband and a father.
Good. That's good.
You know, like, that's, you know, above everything for me. Been playing music since I was, you know, real little, and, you know, came up in the choir system of my school. You know, I'm a Burton kid. You know, I'm an Atherton kid, and you know, learned through there, and you know, I got a job, and you know, I got a family and a house, and you know, everything's going good in my life, and I play a little music on the side.
That's great. So on here, what is your social security number?
My social security number?
You were just rattling
it's
on.
one.
Yeah, one. Me first.
And your credit card number?
2.
And wait, what was your dog's name again?
What is your mom's maiden name?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So, now you say you've been doing all this, but you don't look that much older than me, or you actually look younger than me.
You look young.
How you? What? 35?
41.
No shit.
41 in May. Yep.
Holy smokes!
In
Congratulations.
May.
Yeah,
You're still younger than Mark.
Your birthday's May 28th, isn't
Yep.
it? Yeah. So his is the day before mine, and a couple years ahead of mine. But yeah, we don't care about your
I
birthday.
leveled up this year, and you know, I'm approaching that age of distinguished gentleman.
Nice.
I leveled up too, but I'm way older.
He leveled up. Didn't get no taller. He didn't get the mushroom.
I didn't get no taller, no.
Yeah. So John, what kind of music do you play?
So, the music that I play is like a lot of like classic top 40 stuff, and then like some countries, and you know, and a little rock and roll. But you know, I do acoustic music now, just because I'm getting a little older. You know, carrying a band is you know, something that I did in my younger days, but you know, now I just kind of I play for my first audience, which is myself, and hopefully the second audience appreciates everything that I'm doing.
Right.
But I do actively ask people what they want to hear. I try to make other people happy as well.
Yeah. Now you say you do like a lot of covers. Like, do you have any original stuff?
Yeah, I've got some original stuff. Tonight I'm gonna. You guys played my Candlelight and Whiskey song on one of your shows, which I appreciate. Thank you, by the way.
I love that song. That was great.
I don't remember what I said. I'm sorry if I said something bad.
Well, you also, there's a lyric in that song about how it's hard to finish every line, and every one of you went.
Oh yeah.
Well, I am a Red Bull drinker. So,
I was just like, it's about writing a song. It's hard to finish it. Fuck it, whatever. It's fine. Listen, if that's what y'all took from it, as long as you enjoyed it, I don't care.
But we want to add that
you like to have a little fun.
we don't partake in that.
Hey.
Mark may or may not speak for himself. So
The Colombian nose powder?
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Right on. So it sounds like you're a pretty like well-rounded musician. And you said you came from Burton, Atherton schools, and stuff like that. God, I'm trying to think because I'm trying to like remember those Atherton schools.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to think. She should have been there. Oh yeah, she definitely would have. Was it Miss B? Miss J. Mrs. J.
No, Mrs. Johnson?
Yeah.
My daughter is named after her.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's great. For those who don't
story.
know, Miss Johnson was the music teacher at Atherton.
Mm-hmm.
So.
One of the most influential people of my life. She was an angel that walked the earth, and I was honored to sing at her funeral.
That's great.
And my daughter, her middle name is Jolene, and gave her that for her.
That's really cool. How old's your daughter?
She's going into 7th grade, so she's like 12-ish. She'll be 12 this year or so.
My daughter, actually, her last day of 6th grade was today.
Is she following your footsteps? Does she play music?
Yeah, actually, my daughter, she she wants to play guitar, but she's starting to sing. She did her first choir concert solo this past springtime. And she'll come out to like some of the more age appropriate shows that I play, like when I play when I'm playing at a restaurant or something, she'll come up and she'll sing a song or two with me.
That's cool.
And she's really into it, and she's gonna be talented, and she's beautiful and kind, and everything that I wish I was. She's there. So.
Well, I mean, as long as she don't have the same beard you do.
Well,
I think she'll be.
It's 2025, man.
Burton Beat goes politically.
It's all good.
So now, with your music, what would you say is like the hardest part of doing music?
The hardest part of doing music. So in my younger days, I probably would have said just keeping a band together and getting everyone on the same page and making sure that everyone feels included. Because I mean, it's not necessarily ego as much as it is just wanting to belong to something and be an active part in it. And if every team needs a captain, I was always kind of the captain.
Yeah.
And now that I just kind of do my own thing, and I still support the local bands that go out and play, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But for me right now, the hardest part is that work-life balance, and then managing to get out and play enough to where like I stay fired up to show up to shows and things like that. And
instead of just being burnt out and just glad that's over.
I mean, I've played 1,000+ shows to an empty room full of bar stools, and every show I play, I try to make sure I do it just like it's Madison Square Garden. And it's difficult.
That's
the good thing, make sure that everything just...
Yeah, that you're actually doing it because you like it. So, now what you talking about bands and stuff like that, what kind of bands, what bands have you been in? Yeah.
So...
That we would hear, no.
Okay, so let me... You guys ever see that board game like 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon, like where you can play connected dots? Buckle in. So when I was 18, I was playing with a band called Closer Than Not. It was myself. It was Phil Murray.
Sorry,
Phil Murray.
Instead of Bill Murray.
Yeah, it just caught me off.
Philip Murray. Not Bill Murray.
I know, but that's what popped in.
How close it is because of how close it is. It's
Bill
like
Murray.
Yeah, my man. And Billy Davidson and Kyle Phelps.
Okay.
And then we would tour with a band called Pain of a New Day. So Pain of a New Day and Closer Than Not used to go play a bunch of shows together. Well, we both broke up around the same time, and the singer from Pain of a New Day, his name's Matt, he calls me and he's like, hey, can I poach Billy and Phil? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I don't own them. Like, do what you want, bro. You know, and like, it's all good. I support you guys. And so they went and started Downseed.
Okay.
You hear that? Yeah. Yep. So Downseed, they played and they were doing stuff. And while they were doing that, I formed a band called Cherry Silverstitch.
Okay.
So Cherry Silverstitch was doing well. Downseed was doing really well. So we started playing shows together again, and now you guys are familiar with Never the Crash?
Yes.
Billy, who was in my band, my drummer, who was in Downseed, is now the drummer for Never the Crash.
Yep.
Wow. Is that the tall guy?
Tall guy.
Yeah, he's a tall,
Yep. So what's up, Never the Crash? You're welcome.
Yeah.
Shout out to Don.
Yeah, I know.
But like when they were like Avenue Sky, those guys are amazing.
I love that band.
Those guys are so good.
Avenue Sky was amazing.
Avenue Sky was great.
Yes.
But like you guys, and in between those two bands, I used to go to the Crown Row Bar for the jam night, and Free Will was the band that would play there for the jam nights, and you all know
which is
Paul. Paul Canellis from Lords of October.
Lords of October.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, tall Paul.
Yeah.
Oh.
So one day he called, like, I don't know if I saw him or he called me or whatever, but he was like, hey, by the way, we have a gig this weekend. I was like, all right, cool, man. I'll try to show up. He's like, no. We have a gig this week. Like, practice Friday, gig Saturday. I'm like, like shit.
Shit.
So they did a little side project called the Mighty Dashner. And to this day, as far as I know, because, like, I didn't really know what my role was. We were just go out there and play a bunch of silly songs and do funny shit. And to this day, I believe I'm the only guy who has ever used a brushing his teeth as part of his performance at Machine Shop.
Interesting.
Like, can you? Okay. Wait,
I'm talking straight down. Thank you. I'm talking center stage, downstage center, tube of toothpaste. Just brush my teeth while they're playing, and then I turn around, wait and grab my keyboard or whatever the hell I was playing at the time, and that's my biggest claim to fame. It's like I'm that guy.
But like, okay, I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Like that.
But why?
Toothbrush here today.
Do you
No,
have?
no, I don't have a toothbrush. No, it was just we were just
Save it
kids.
for the show.
We were just kids having fun, and if you didn't get it, that's okay. It's not for everybody. We didn't hurt no one, so it was all
Yes, you better be right.
But what's
There's a lot of local, like, amazing, good musicians that came out of Free Will.
So here's the thing. I've always had a rule. No matter who I was playing with, everyone that I play with has to be better than me. Like that's the rules. Because the only way that I'm going to get better is if I surround myself with as much talent as possible. And so when I was playing, with Randy and Paul, and when I was playing with Billy and Phil and Matt, who's now in War on the Horizon. Who they're amazing. You should have a look at them. They're great.
I've heard of them.
Anybody who I played with, I'm still waiting. I've been waiting 20 years to hear from Mike Rowland, and I'm still waiting. I'll wait another 20 if I have to.
Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to surround myself with the best musicians possible so that I can get better.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of been my deal. And
Dropping all these names here.
yeah, that's like I said, you got to buckle in because it's more than just a scene. It was a community.
I just want
It
to.
was.
I just want to circle back to something that was very important. The toothpaste and the toothbrush. Okay.
What kind of toothpaste you use?
No, shut up. Why? Why did you do it? Like, was it part of the song?
No.
Was it? No. Okay.
So they were there to do silly things and play silly songs,
But, like,
right?
You can just say that you don't understand his art.
No.
Yeah.
Shut up. No.
That's like the taping the banana to the wall.
22-year-old me
Yeah.
did not care what you thought. He just wanted to have some fun.
Well, I didn't know. I get that part, but
there was no reason.
No reason.
Because-
Was it premeditated?
Yeah, I had to bring a toothbrush and a
Well,
toothpaste.
I don't know. Some of us keep toothbrush and toothpaste in our pocket at all times.
Premeditated.
Premedicated. Yeah, that makes
Premedicated.
sense. Yeah.
No, we used to I would randomly, I don't know, when the Mighty Dashner was short-lived, but it was all for good fun, and
Yeah.
if I could go back and have one more gig with those guys, that'd be cool as hell. But it is what it is.
Okay.
You never know.
I mean, there's a lot of names that I knew, which was.
You can ask Paul about the time I had toothpaste at the machine shop. It's freaking hilarious.
I'll have to message him. That's funny.
That is hilarious.
My man.
So speaking of
hilarious.
bands that you've been in, what I wanted to know was like when did you first start performing live and like where did you?
So, to my knowledge, the first time I was ever on stage, like singing in front of a group of people, I was probably about 5 or 6. My grandparents were bluegrass musicians. They were very well-known bluegrass musicians,
Nice.
and they still exist, but it's very small now. But there's a Michigan Bluegrass Association.
Yeah.
And it used to be a lot of people that show up to that.
They meet up once a month at least at Bing's Trapper Joe's.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Oh, I mean they do.
I know they still meet at Kersley Middle School.
Yeah, over there off of Belsey or over in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I was talking to the guys that were doing that. I was thinking that, like, man, I'd like to have some bluegrass on the show just to show that we're more versed than pop
That'd be
girl songs.
awesome.
So like my grandpa was like the best fiddle player like in the state, just amazing. And then my grandmother was with him, and my dad was with him, and then my Uncle George was there. So naturally, I wanted to be on stage with my family, so they let me come up and sing a song or two, and That's the first time I got on stage. And then growing up through school, whenever we'd have a choir concert, I wanted the solos. When talent show time came around, I got one song.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do absolutely everything I can to be the best that I can be. And then when I graduated high school, people started places started letting me play more than one song at a time.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to me because I could kind of dictate to what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And then I started writing songs, and I started kind of figuring out where I was and how I was going to play, and grow my skills and whatever. So that's kind of that story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's your creative process like on writing?
Oh man, depends on the day. There are some songs that I'll there's certain songs that I write. It doesn't take very long at all. It just kind of falls together. And then I've also got songs that I've been sitting on a chorus and a melody for 10 years, so I don't really have much of a process. I'm going to play Candlelight and Whiskey for you guys here in a little bit. And that, yep. That one came out of my divorce. I was angry and I was depressed and I was, and I didn't know what else to do. So I was like, well, what's in front of me? I've got a candle and I've got my guitar and I've got a bottle of, and I'll just write a song about that and how I'm feeling. So that's how that song came about. And, I got a few that I work on, and then a few that just kind of write themselves.
Yeah.
So,
how many?
What's the first song you actually learned?
The first song I ever learned? Probably Where Have All the Flowers Gone?
Okay.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long
Okay.
time passing. I think that was the first song I ever learned to play.
He's working on Smoke on the Water.
Oh, yeah.
He can't really get past the first couple of chords.
On the harpsichord.
On the harpsichord.
No, the Theraflu. The
Theremin. He kept calling it a
Theraflu.
There's a shout back to the last show.
That's the last. Yeah.
He kept saying Theraflu instead of Theremin.
Yeah.
She plays the theremin.
I've heard it both ways.
I think I learned to play that song and then Last Kiss in the same weekend.
Which kind? The Pearl Jam or
It's the same chords.
It's the same chords.
Oh, well, yeah, but I
we
mean,
can call it the Pearl Jam style because
okay.
I'm just a little more raspy than that, I suppose. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, because
I'm sorry, from a musician point of view, I just it's the same chords. I didn't mean that.
No,
I
it is.
like that, but no, I was talking to
the
you.
chords, but
yeah,
the tempo and the way
the
you
tempo
sing it.
is definitely different.
Well, we used to play that in Closer Than Not just because we needed more songs to play because we didn't have any yet. But we played it pretty heavy, which is kind of interesting.
But he was saying, oh, where I gotta brush my teeth.
That's how it started.
Different band, but yeah, that's how it started.
I had a good joke.
We gotta
Travis had a good joke. Date. Ruined it.
And scene.
Same date.
All right, thank you. I'm done. No.
So, as far as guitar, what's the first guitar you owned? And
So traditionally in my family we played Martins.
jeez, okay.
I've got my first guitar was a Martin D37, which I still have. When I got my first electric guitar, I got an Epiphone style, a Les Paul.
Yeah.
And I stuck with that for a while, and now I've got 2 or 3 Martins out. I got a triple aught, I got the 37, and I got the road model over there.
Okay.
That's really cool.
I never played Martin.
At some point, I was like, is he talking about guitars or guns? Because some of the words.
I mean,
they put
yeah,
out there,
you're right.
I was
Some of them do taste like.
Taste like.
No, they taste beautiful.
This took a dark turn.
This song goes out to you, Martha.
Smells like teen spirit to me.
They taste beautiful. Sorry, I've been at work all day, so talking about food all day.
Oh, that's
But
the
anyway.
fishy smell.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You're doing your best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's embarrassing everyone else at the table, but you're doing just fine.
We will have him back at the home after this is done. So
Shut up.
thank you for letting him on the day pass
up.
today.
Just pre-medicated.
No.
You don't leave him unsupervised.
Yeah, no,
He always has a buddy with him.
Don't get him.
Anyway,
Don't get him wet.
just,
Don't feed him after midnight.
I just wonder because certain guitar players play, what they like, what they prefer.
Yeah, I prefer Martins. I think they sound great.
They do sound great.
I'm not opposed to other things.
I can't afford them, but
Yeah.
they sound great.
Like Lawrence, Short, Ricky,
Yeah.
all the good Martins.
Yeah.
So,
Well played.
yeah, thank you.
So which one is your favorite?
Steve. Oh, forgot about Steve.
That
No.
you can play a banjo.
Le Poisson Steve. But we have someone commented in to ask you. I don't personally know the difference. I'm a singer and I don't know a lot about guitars. But they asked, do you ever write rhythm guitar as if it's percussion, driven by groove before chords?
So, the way that I write a song, as far as like the chord progression, find the melody that you want to write, and then build the song around the melody versus the other way around.
Okay.
Find what's at the top of your range, and then find the key that fits that. So, because the progression will be fairly the same. It's just going to be in a different key. So that's kind of. It's all preference, and there's no right or wrong way. And I play a little heavier on the, on the the high end of my my scale than whatever, but I stay low for certain things. It just kind of depends.
Okay. All right. Hope that answers that for you, Samantha, age 22 from Chicago, Illinois. All right.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, I've heard of Chicago. Yeah.
I've played Chicago.
The Scruff McGruff. Right here. Yeah, taking bites out of crime.
Yeah.
Also,
Well done.
another guitar question from Alan. How do you approach finger picking? I'm assuming this is about music. Finger picking patterns differently in studio versus live performance.
So you practice the way that you play.
Okay.
Like I don't use a pick. I just use pizzicato. If you're gonna practice, in a studio, if you're gonna record in a studio, like trust your sound guys, trust your producers, like let them kind of help guide, but it's your art. So, finger picking is, I think it's just kind of whether you want to do it the way that you want to do it, or do you want to try to sound different, do what you want.
But I feel though, like, hope that answers that for you. Not hope. So it sounds like though that you like to keep in the creative process of art, like when you're playing and stuff like that. So in the moment, it might change.
Yeah, play to your first
Right.
audience, and your first audience is yourself.
That's
But
great
obviously
point.
this is how you want to sound, but obviously like you still have to take into account of how you feel and your emotions are at that point.
I don't think I've ever played the same song the same way twice, which is kind of problematic if you're going to play in a studio to write, a record
Yes.
or whatever. But if I feel a little more upbeat, I'm going to play more upbeat. If I feel a little more relaxed, I might play a little slower. Or if people are listening, or if I'm looking at a bunch of people with their heads turned away from me, I might play whatever I'm going to feel like, because
Right.
if I'm doing well for me, someone else is going to notice that. They're going to want to see that too.
Yeah.
And I want to make other people happy. It's not all about me, but I'm not trying to sound egocentric or anything. I just I have to play a song to the best of my abilities, and some days those abilities are going to change day to day depending on how I feel.
Right.
So it's kind of that.
Yeah. And you also said that you like to surround yourself with people who are more musically.
Yeah,
talented.
absolutely.
And that is actually why he said he wanted to come on the podcast. So I appreciate the compliment.
Cool.
Thank you. That's good for you too, bud. No,
We're all musicians.
we all have
in ways.
Yeah, in ways.
I played
Michael, I know that guy.
Need to make your brand unforgettable? Whether it's a killer promo video, a stunning reel, or a full-scale production, KCVideo.com brings your vision to life with cinematic quality and zero stress. From concept to final cut, KC Video handles everything, so you can focus on what you do best. Ready to stand out? Visit caseyvideo.com and let your story shine on screen. That's caseyvideo.com, where your story becomes the main feature.
So speaking of like your songwriting and your style and everything, so we noticed that like your sound blends folk and blues. How do you approach combining genres in your writing?
I don't. I just write for whatever. Like when I'm writing a song, whether it's a country song or a ballad or whatever, it's dependent on the day.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm gonna write a metal riff today, or I'm gonna write a country song today, or I feel sad today, or I feel happy today.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the way that I do that. I don't try to blend anything. I just try to play songs that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's songs that I like. I'll change. I'll rewrite classic songs. Like I'm gonna play "Candle in the Wind" here in a little bit, but I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of the way I do things.
Right. Yeah. That's the fact that you said I'm gonna do it my way. I appreciate that a lot because
He's got a thing about
my big
that.
gripe about musicians is that they're just trying to recreate, I guess, what it was, but like I feel like everyone should have their own version of the song. If you're going to play it your way. Like Frank Sinatra, even though that he did not write that song.
Fair enough.
But
I didn't know that, but right on.
yeah. Now, I want to know a little bit about because you've told us where you're from, more about your background, what you're doing now. I like what is your what's your music plan as of right now? Like what's currently going on?
So June has been a good month to me. I played a couple shows already, and then I got tonight that I'm here with you guys, and then this weekend I'll be at Crown Road Bar for Friday night in Flint, and then I'll be at Clio Amphitheater on Saturday. I'm playing at like 12:30 in the afternoon at Clio, but
Okay.
it's real short sets for that battle, but it's I've never played there.
Sure, let's just.
We will make sure that we stay non-biased.
Oh, right on. I think that's what it is to me. Like, listen, I don't care, man.
Right, yeah.
I just wanted to be able to say, like, hey, I got to play at Clio Amphitheater.
Yeah, no, we're going to be judging that.
Oh,
but
killer.
Celebrity judges.
Yeah.
Right on.
They're very loose on the celebrity part.
Yep.
more than anything.
I can't go anywhere outside of the Atherton area without being recognized.
I might be lucky if I can reach the end of that block before someone's like, "Hey, get off this corner." Yeah. It's not so much that they know who I am; just they recognize my face. Probably not the best reasons.
Right on.
We're starting to get recognized.
Police lineups,
And at least in Bangladesh, over there, we are like on their billboards.
Yeah.
0.001% in Iraq or something.
We are a big boom in Iraq.
Hell yeah.
We're booming in France.
He had a good joke.
Yeah, I know.
So speaking of like Clio Amphitheater, would this be your first time playing there?
It's my first time playing there.
Okay. And what makes like the crowds in Michigan different than anywhere else if you've played outside of the state? Or
I've played New York State. I've played Ohio, Indiana, Toronto, Ontario.
Oh.
They like you in Canada.
Oh, I mean, that's a funny story too. Because I didn't plan to play in Canada, but I got talked into it when we got there, which is pretty funny.
That's cool.
But with people, so when you play in like Genesee County area, like if you oversaturate your own area, people will stop coming.
Yeah. Because you're not less of a.
If you play every weekend in around Flint, maybe if you tell 100 people, maybe 10 people will say they're going to come, and then you get 5 that show up.
Right.
And then if you're playing the same place the next week or a place right around the corner, that 5 might go to none or whatever.
Yeah.
So the people, and it's not that they're being unkind or they don't want to support you. It's just that people have lives. Mm-hmm. So like whenever I would play out of town, I would try to, as long as I could get there responsibly within a few hours, that would be okay. You know, like I've played like northern Illinois, northern Indiana, northern Ohio.
Never southern.
You know, nope. It's too far. There's no point. If
Right.
I'm gonna drive all that way, and I'm gonna play to nobody. So,
Right.
you know,
They do have nice cornfields in
Oh yeah, beautiful cornfield.
Illinois. I've seen
Absolutely. So what I prefer to do is I only book maybe 10, 12 shows a year.
Yeah.
And then I try to do like maybe like a show every month, maybe 2, and then it becomes more of an event that I can invite more people to. And they'll be like, oh, I haven't seen you play in a month, I'll be there.
Right.
Versus like, well, I'll catch you in the next 12 shows this month you're going to play.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of my deal.
He already ruined his quota. He's gonna play today and then twice this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like I said, June's kind of busy, but
Right,
I got
yeah.
I got nothing on for July
Well,
right now.
hopefully he keeps that oomph up for the Battle of the Bands. So.
Nah, we're seeing him tonight. We don't gotta see him Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
replacement.
Yeah.
Be a good opportunity to use the bathroom.
Jeez.
I hear you. I hear you.
Oh, all of a sudden I'm hungry.
Why are you hungry in the bathroom?
It's not what
Gotta have the wiener.
Oh my God.
Shout out Glizzy.
Glizzy Fest, yeah. Oh my god. Speaking
we're
of
going
fests.
I thought you were gonna say speaking of glizzies.
No. Speaking of fests,
Yeah.
we will be having Shatterday on June 28th at Vehicle City Social.
Zoom in if you can. No.
All right.
Just see him zoom in.
They're tapping
But
the screen.
actually, with some of your friends,
Yeah.
Never the Crash.
Yep. Billy's band's playing, and then also Approaching Autumn.
Yep.
My buddy Danny is in that band, and
Never heard of her.
they're amazing.
Danny DeVito.
No, approaching up.
Oh,
Never heard of them.
yeah, Approaching
I'm just
Autumn.
kidding.
See, who else we have? We have Approaching Autumn, Never the Crash, Ghost in Motion, Dying
So
Under
Zen.
Influence, Supreme Mystic, and So Zen.
Okay.
Yep.
So zen.
So Zen. I have to
So
keep
Zen.
remembering that it's So Zen, not So Zen. Oh.
Ow!
Jeez.
I'm sorry, Travis, but I'm glad we got that on camera.
Assaulted by a pen.
That's the end of this.
So zen.
But no, so that's so it's gonna be really good. Our Shatterday event, we're gonna have different giveaways throughout the day.
Give it away.
Give it away now.
You have to say it like that too when you announce it.
Yeah.
I won't.
Colin's
You guys
Colin's
can
gonna be
have
out there.
that.
I will not be jumping off the stage.
Well,
Yes,
that's
you will.
yeah, we
That-
got
that is
tickets for
gonna be-
you to do that.
Man, I made you
Oh, I
a
will
special.
not.
I made you a special tip jar.
We told people that you were gonna do a jump for $1.
Yeah,
So.
and we've made $8,000 so far.
Hey!
8,000 jumps.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
we'll have to take him to the hospital by the end of the show.
But yeah, no. So that's a good segue there for us.
Just an
Shameless
inside
plug.
joke.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
No.
A
Speaking
little inside joke.
I thought that show
I
was
will
over.
not be damn jumping.
shameless plug.
Shameless.
Anyways,
Plug in that show.
so speaking of plugs, do you have anything you'd like to plug, John? Well, I mean,
I mean, since you had so nice.
Wow! I mean, that's so nicely.
Support your local music. You know, like these people that are out there playing music, like, you know, it's not just, you know, the entertainment you're paying for. You know, you're paying the thousands of hours of practice. You're paying for,
Yeah.
you know, like the extra work they have to put in so they can buy equipment. You know, if you can help somebody just take a step towards being successful with something they love, like, you should do that. Be the best human being that you can
Yeah.
be. You know, that's kind of my jam. I try to support anybody who needs help, and I want to do the most good
need
that I can in the world. That's why I'm here, sir.
yeah.
So that's the only plug I'm gonna make for tonight. Like, if you get an opportunity, if someone says, "Hey, come see my band,"
Yeah.
like, do what you can to go see them, because like they're trying their absolute hardest, and you know that they might understand that they'll never be rock stars, but they want for one moment in your life to entertain you, and that's something. So.
And even just to get that glimpse of
Yeah.
that I don't know if it's like it's like a power, it's energy, that feeling that you get, that high you get from being the coolest person in that moment
that adrenaline.
until they look over and see Mark and realize that you have no chance next to
Oh,
Mark.
thanks.
I was building you up.
Why are you building me up?
He's
There's
doing
no
the
reason to
split
build
so
me
you can
up.
get a new toupee.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You might want to spend some more money and get a 3-pay. You know.
You're talking about baldness?
What did you?
Sorry, man. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm starting to feel real good about myself.
You gotta stop me.
Well, like we talked about earlier, you're the youngin.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest one
You're the
sitting
cute-
here,
Yeah,
and,
I
I
know.
got, and I'm starting to go too. Don't you laugh, Colin.
Colin's the youngest. Well, there's a little bit
Yeah,
of
my
snow.
help.
Jeff's-
Somebody,
Jeff's
the only
beating us
thing
over
you have to help me do is help me walk.
Yeah. He's jumped off too many stages.
Help you walk the next day.
See, I ran
Yeah.
into him at his job today, and I was like, "Mark, are you walking funny?" He's like, "My knees are killing me."
Was that?
Was that the joke?
Yeah, it's like you said.
No, it wasn't a joke.
That's where you say, well, you
was
should have
him
stayed
being-
off of them.
Yeah.
You missed.
That was
Missed.
gonna be
Hold up. Let him tell that story again.
Yeah,
This time
yeah,
you said that.
Second do over.
that was him being a friend.
I was just
And
asking
Carrie.
if he was okay. You know?
Well, that's
That's
good.
funny.
I don't think I was in that moment to make the joke. Like I might not have been the right headset.
I
at the
thought
time.
that's what we were setting up
Yeah, I
for.
was-
I was being serious.
He was being serious.
Never do that.
But the way you said it was like, I gotta tell you this story.
He was
Well, I
being
know what I
joke-
was thinking. I just didn't say it. So John said it for me.
Thank you, John. We appreciate you for coming on the
I had
Burton
to
Beat
set
to
him
help
up
us
for.
out.
I had to set him up for one good joke.
Bad still.
We're all one big happy family.
Yeah, no.
So-
We,
I appreciate you guys inviting me out.
Yeah,
This
thank
is,
you.
Care for each other.
It's been a wonderful experience. You know,
Awesome.
hanging
I
out with you
appreciate
guys,
it.
you know.
Yeah, I really want to hear you play. I'd like
Yeah.
to hear that song in person rather than on the computer because I think it makes more of a difference rather than snorting coke. As
Yeah, it's not part of the song, but I'll do it.
He had a candle, so it wasn't about coke. He had a candle and a spoon. Okay.
No one said anything.
All right.
No one said anything about a spoon.